Mhm.
If you want to add your account on
Yeah.
here, you want me to?
Yeah, go ahead.
You're on.
Yay.
Whoa, thank you. Oh, you obviously noticed the change in the music. Welcome to the Burning River Browns talk. I'll explain that in a moment, but thank you so much. It is a Friday night. We're back on Friday night again, like I
Yeah.
promised.
It was just,
So
it
it's
was a
my
thing. It was one thing,
so
1 week.
1 week, and we get hit with copyrights. We go on a Saturday night, we get hit with copyrights. So I have to use the generic music. I
That's
can't
when all the
use.
Stooges are watching, apparently,
Yeah,
on
I guess
Saturday
so.
night. The Stooges are keeping track of what's going on. Mm.
That was my Three Stooges reference. So there
Sweet.
you go. There we go. So okay, so that's why the music changed. So I wish we could still go with the Killers, all the things I've done
Mhm.
before. I love the song. Played Elvis too at the end of the at the end of the
Mhm.
match. Yeah, the end of the match. There you go. End of the show. Yeah, it was a hell of a match.
It was.
Well, no, I did the Sunday Stew Pod. Check that out Sunday morning. I did the episode with Corey today, and we talked a lot of. There's the dust up with wrestling, and it had to do with an old timer that needed help
Oh,
with
okay.
a GoFundMe, and people did help
Sure.
him, even people
Oh,
he was
wow.
critical of on his podcast, and the reporter couldn't believe it. And I'm like, well, we're human, Yeah,
Exactly. It's a
that's all. Yeah.
fraternity. It's
Yep.
you help your own.
Yep. Oh boy, Chicago just stormed back. It is
Oh, no.
85-84 Cavs with 7:38 to go in the third.
Ah,
Cavs,
that's a
yeah.
ton of basketball.
Oh, there's
A
a lot to
ton.
play. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. So and they just did we just committed a turnover. I'm not sure what happened. Oh, we got it back. All right. Well, I'm not going to go play by play on this. So we got hit with copyrights. So it's the Burning River Browns talk. We're gonna have to go with this music for a while. And that's it. I mean, we got a game Sunday. We're back off the bye week, thinking, oh great, we're healthy until I hear about
Mhm.
Michael Hall Jr.'s going back
Saw it.
to the knee.
Yep.
Yeah,
Mhm.
he has a knee injury. It is what it is, guys. Deal with it. Man, it would have been nice to have Quentin Johnson back, but he really wasn't that productive anyway. So we might as well put somebody else in there.
Mhm.
Back to it going. I have an interview with Jack Duffin to share here with
Sure.
everybody. So we're going to do that in a few minutes. But before we go any further, I want to do the introductions. I'm Lou Marconi at lmarconi251 on Instagram, at lmarconi1973 on X. My co-host DJF ESJ, my Jewish sister from another Mister, Sherry at Browns
Yes.
Fangirl on Twitter, X,
Mhm.
and at Budgie M on Instagram. Check her
Yes.
out, follow her. She does the Breezy Browns talk on Wednesday nights. It was you and Posh. It was a great show.
Yes.
You text.
She gave me the nicest compliment, and I wish, I could use that as my in
What was the compliment?
parentheses. She
What was
was
the
saying
compliment?
that it's a fun, uh, like midweek kind of chill situation. And I'm like, yes, yes, that's what it is. It's chill. It's a chill situation. The wind is usually cooling and refreshing. So the
Coming off
breeze.
coming off a Lake Erie, it always is.
Absolutely.
Yes. So yes, that was really nice. I supplied you with some jokes, and you
Yes,
texted
you
me later.
did.
I have plenty. So don't worry about it. I'm going to have the Jack Duffin interview coming up here in a moment.
Sure.
Is there anything else you want to plug? Here we go. Hey, Brian. Thank you, Brian.
Hey, Brian.
Thank you.
Go
Is there
ahead.
anything else you want to talk about, because you had your bougie sports show?
Yeah, the Go Cavs show, which was new and exciting.
Yeah.
So I believe that's going to be weekly.
Oh, you guys are doing
Somebody,
a weekly Cavs show now?
I don't know. It's not going to be everybody every week.
Of
It's going to
course.
be,
Well, I know you guys are busy, so it's
mhm,
it's like it's hard. Guys, these shows take work. So
right.
they do. I mean, some people make it look easy because they're really good at it. So
Mhm,
trust me, this
mhm.
stuff takes work. So just letting you know, hey, please like, comment, share, subscribe. This is the Burning River Browns Talk on the Fanatical Elves Network, a subsidiary of the Fans First Sports Network. Check out the Hemisphere Coffee Roasters, the details of the show. They're linked to our sponsor. Appreciate you guys very
Oh,
much.
I was hoping somebody would ask this question. Hey, Pete.
Oh, Tyson.
That's my prediction as well.
Yeah, yeah. I'm sorry, guys. It's still Mike Tyson.
Team
So, but
Tyson. Mhm.
yeah, Pete, absolutely, Pete Tyson, all the way. But before we go any further, let's take a moment here to pause for a break from our sponsors right now. Okay, we're back. Thank you. Well, how about them sponsors? Yeah, like I said,
Thank you, sponsors.
thank you, sponsors. Hemisphere Coffee Roasters. It's a wonderful thing. It's a wonderful coffee, wonderful gimmick. And let me see if I,
They have a lot of really nice gift like
yeah,
packages put together. That's a nice holiday gift for the coffee lover like yours truly. You know,
yeah.
yeah, a lot of very fun flavors too. And, I
Hmm.
love anything local in Ohio. So to me,
Yeah,
it's very exciting.
it's a local company out of Columbus. And oh, Cavs are down by one, 90 to
Eh,
89. Eh,
whatever. They'll
whatever.
be fine.
We'll see what happens. But we'll go any further. We're going to talk Browns talk, and excuse me, I have Jack Duffin to come in here. So
Sure.
I'm going to have the screen up here 1 second. Who did somebody else comment? No, no. We'll get to your comments. Feel free to go ahead and ask about them. But this was taped on a Wednesday morning, and Jack was very gracious because we were on a schedule to do this. So here we are, and I'll fix this. We were on a schedule, and for some reason, StreamYard was having issues, and
They put you in Rumble.
yeah, we're 15 minutes. He's like, yeah, we're on Rumble right now. I had to do this on the Rumble page, so let's do this.
Oh,
Is
there
that
you go.
better? There you go. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, so let me go ahead and play this. I had to play it because there was ads at the beginning, so then I had to go through the ads while I was listening to you. So here we go. It's about 15 minutes, and
Sure.
this was Wednesday morning. Thank you all. Here, enjoy it. All right, thank you for joining us tonight. This is the Burning River Browns Talk on the Fanatical Elves Network. I have a special guest here, a longtime friend of the show and a longtime guest of the show before, Mr. Jack Duffin from the Orange and Brown Report. Thank you for joining us. How are you today?
Yeah, doing well. Hey,
Hey,
it's always good to come on. And it's quite good that you
yeah,
record early your time, and that's why it always works out.
yeah, it
It
was
works
eight
out good
o'clock
for
on
me.
a
I
Wednesday
get up
morning.
early in the morning to record for you. So much appreciated. I want to say congratulations again. You just got back from your honeymoon. I've been bugging you for an interview. I hope I'm not pestering you too much. A lot of things happening with the Browns, especially since the Watson injury. Um, just want to get right into it, and we'll ask some questions. And I just want to get your insight. Check out Jack Duffin's content at the Orange and Brown Report. Very good stuff. You've learned about the salary cap. I also recommend Over the Cap because I wrote an article recently using Over the Cap and your information about how the salary cap for the Browns is really not as bad as people think it is. Nowhere near. But here we go. First and foremost, we went into the 2024 season, all of us, thinking this was a good team and a contending team. What do you think we got wrong? I have my own ideas.
I think there's an element of age, and it's regularly you see it with teams that go, "Hey, we're going to run it back," where running it back never tends to work out quite as well. You had it with Brady and the Bucks. It was like, "Hey, let's get everyone back together. We're going to do this again," and then it never lives up to the hype. I think there's an
Mhm,
element where you do need to change things up. So
mhm,
I think that was a factor, and partly it's just players have injured, underperformed, and that's taken a toll. When you're missing a lot of players through the whole preseason, I think that matters. Not so much for the preseason games, I don't really care, but training camp and everything, you want those guys together, especially key units like the offensive line,
mhm,
because
mhm.
they matter more. In all honesty, Miles Garrett and Darius Smith warming up and training together doesn't really matter because of the element of job they do is between them and one other person in most cases, whereas those five have to work together. So I think that's certainly been a factor. And as well,
Yeah,
the quarterback play. The quarterback play sucked, and that's going to have a knock-on impact.
Yeah, and I think I think just the offense underperformed greatly. Mari Cooper wasn't the same, and we traded him, and we brought in Cedric Tillman, and he's taking advantage of the opportunities. Zadarius Smith was productive, but he wasn't bad, I don't think. Meaning that when we traded him, we got something for him in return. But it's just interesting because one other reporter, I'm not going to say his name, was talking about a vibe that there's desperation with Andrew Berry and Kevin Stefanski, and you said that on Dave Bacon's show recently, and I honestly think that really isn't a sense that I think they're trying to put in guys, younger players, in key positions to see what they have for the rest of the season, because what happened in the first 9 games is done. It's done. They're going to look at the next 8 games as like a season reset. I don't know if you think that's the same thing or not, like a second half.
Yeah, without a doubt. There's no point judging someone of what they did in the first half when everything was a dumpster fire. Let's reset. We've got 2 weeks already of it, and it's like now the rest of the season. Let's look at that as a package. And lots of people will point to certain offensive linemen and go, "Oh, he's looked quite good." I know there's a lot of heat on Jedrick Wills at the moment, but Jedrick Wills never got to play with the Flacco, never got to play with Winston. It was all basically Watson during the last 2 years, and that's when the quarterback's holding the ball so much longer, that's going to have an impact on how you view your offensive lineman, because when you're protecting for Winston, you've got to hold for 2.5 seconds. When you're holding for Watson, you've got to protect for another half a second, which half a second might seem small, but that is 20% extra, which gives you a challenge because the quarterback's not reading and executing the passing players quickly. So that whole thing there. But if you're honestly, after this long of Andrew Berry and Kevin Stefanski being in place and taking anything meaningful from the press conferences, what are you doing? Because they never tell you anything.
They don't
listen to their words. Listen
to
their
5. Yeah, it's been 5 years. Go ahead, sir.
Follow their actions. What have they done? They're all in on this season. Well, if they're all in on this season, they wouldn't have traded Amari Cooper and Zadarius Smith. So let's get that straight. They are willing to move off players for the right price and bring in young players they hope can then step into that role for next season. And who knows? If Tillman does it, great. If not, go look at T. Higgins in free agency. If Zadarius Smith moving on and Isaiah McGuire's great, fantastic. If not, let's go find a free agent edge. There's always some guys in the market. You don't need a one. Myles Garrett's already done that. You can go spend $10 million and get someone good.
Yeah, I also too, because it's interesting what you said, because obviously I don't see Jameis Winston being the quarterback next year. I really don't, for some reason.
It could. It's going to be down to how he plays. I think he's got sort of 4 weeks to go prove that you should be our bridge next year, because there's a chance.
Okay.
Who else do you see? Got a chance.
Who else do you see coming in? Because you mentioned Kirk Cousins before, and I found that intriguing.
He's definitely the gold standard for me of what you would love to chase, because you're not getting a world-class quarterback. Let's be honest, Dak Prescott or someone's not falling into your lap. So you've got to look at what else is available. You can go to the draft. Probably not going to be good year one, so that's probably out. What's okay for me, that's Jameis Winston is okay. I wouldn't trade for a Daniel Jones or a Derek Carr and all the implications that come with that. Not that Carr's going to be on the market, because the Saints cap wise just can't realistically trade him. But what is the difference between a Winston and a Daniel Jones? It's going to cost you a lot more money. Going to potentially have to give up assets for it. Who knows? That's messy. I don't want to go there. Whereas if I can get Kirk Cousins is a really good quarterback. They've got Penix in the wings ready to go. If they don't win a playoff game, I think he's on the move. There's no trade clause linked with Kevin Stefanski. I think stuff can start to come together. You can put a really good team around him, and he's pretty cheap at $27.5 million of cash next year. You can get that down to about $6.5 million on the salary cap
with the restructure, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, that was interesting that you said that, because they're already talking draft with Ward and Sanders, and I'm not even getting into that because depends on how we do the rest of the year if we even get that high up in the draft. But the interesting thing too was, speaking of draft picks, was that this was brought up, and I don't know that the analytics said in 2020 to take Tristan Wirfs, but Bill Callahan wanted Jed Wills, so we did it. Just like Siaki Ika 2 years ago was a Schwartz guy, because it didn't make sense when we took Siaki Ika, and he didn't really fit with what we were doing. So it's interesting. I'm not sure where that information came from, because a lot of criticism that Andrew Berry's getting is certain picks he missed on. There's other picks that he hit on, because DeJuan Jones could be our starting left tackle next year. He could be. He actually is doing okay. He's doing better than Wills did, and Wills hasn't he hasn't really recovered from the injuries, I think. But so give me an idea. How does that work in our salary cap with Watson's contract to get somebody like a Cousins? How would that happen?
Yeah, so what they're most likely to do with Watson, and I'd be shocked if it's not this way, is they'll restructure him this coming year, so in the new league year, so 2025. Even if they leave him on the bench, they might send him home. They could, hey, the Texans use him as a scout team safety. So who knows what they're going to do with him, but whatever they do with him doesn't matter. How do you manage the cap? Restructure him. And then what you're going to do in 2026, the first day of the league year, you restructure him. And then potentially on the second day of the league year, because I believe they have to happen on different days, you post June 1st cut him. And what that's going to do on the cap is next year in 2025 is 37 million. Then it's going to be 46 million. And then it's going to be 89.5 million. While that seems like an awful lot of money, the salary cap's realistically going to be, 70, 80, maybe even 90 million higher in 2020.
Do you wake up feeling tired, even after a full night's sleep? You're not alone. Millions.
I hate
7
Rumble.
than it is now. So salary cap's going to rise. You're going to prepare for that. You know that's coming in 2027, and you will just backload the deals. So because of their philosophy of backload everyone, they're spending 50 million a year more of cash. So there's a cash implication of the Watson contract in 2025, 2026. There is no cash implication in 2027. So they can go and blow a load of cash, backload it on deals. If they went and spent
he did
100 million, well, that's 20 million in each year. So you only need to account for a little bit on that salary cap in the first year. So they're in a good position. However, people might feel emotionally. They look at the overall number, they look at the Watson number, and they're like, oh, it's a disaster. It's like, well, you actually need to do a little bit more work than that. And that's the article that I dropped.
I said, I saw that. That was very good
Monday?
stuff. Yeah,
I want to say Monday.
Yeah, it was Monday. Yeah, it was Monday. And mine. I think mine was Sunday, when it wasn't. It was losing a little bit of what you said, but I always put in the link over the cap. That's the place to look, because I said we're 46 million under the cap this year with some change, and then we're scheduled to be 9 million over next year. I mean, it's very manageable what they're going to do. It's very manageable. So it's not the end of the world, Browns fans. That was my point. That's the reason why I wanted you on, was because I said, guys, get off the ledge. We're okay. It's okay. And I think I don't think this is going to be a complete breakdown and rebuild. You're saying you agree with me on that. Where we agree, I think you're going to see a pivot and maybe a retooling or something like that. A pivot might be the best way to look at it, on how they find their franchise quarterback, and because if you get the quarterback right with this team, because now that the line's healthy, they're going to have to plug in some younger talent on the line too. So they're doing that. But what do you think?
Yeah, it's you keep going for it. There's no reason you should ever stop, because look at the 49ers. They swung 3 first-round picks on a quarterback, didn't work out. They lucked into a guy in the 7th round who Purdy's not anything special. Purdy's just a league average quarterback. But when you have good head coach, we've got that. If you have a good roster, we've got that. Average quarterback plays good enough to be you're regularly competing in the playoffs. Yeah. Are you realistically going to win a Super Bowl in 25, 26? Probably not. But let's get to the playoffs. If you run the table, you have a bit of luck. Look at Nick Foles. Nick Foles should never have won a Super Bowl. Nick Foles won a Super Bowl because luck and randomness happens. You have to get to the playoffs to allow luck and randomness to play in your favor. There's no point sitting there at home going,
I agree.
If we'd have had a bit of luck, it's like, no. There's got to be a
lot of times you get luck. Sometimes some luck comes your way. Are you there?
Yep.
Okay. Well, that was pretty much it. Yeah, that was it. Yeah, you just kind of broke up a little bit. I appreciate it. If you have anything you want to plug, you just Orange and Brown Report. And you're at Jack Duffin on Twitter. He posts his articles. good stuff on the salary cap. Yeah, I think we realistically, when we came into 2024 this season, based on how 2023 went, and we were getting people back healthier, we thought we were going to be a good team, and we were wrong. I mean, I'll admit it. I'm actually, my article I'm going to write is, hey, what did I get wrong? How did I get this wrong? So I'm looking forward to seeing how these younger players step in and what's going to happen. And really, it all depends on how the rest of the season goes. A lot depends on how the rest of the season. I still think Stefanski's job is safe and Barry's job is safe as of today, but things could change in a month or two. So, but I don't see them completely abandoning the plan.
Yeah, I remain
I don't
really
know what-
optimistic on the 2025 season. I expect Berry to be back. I expect Stefanski to be back. Yeah, there'll be
Mhm.
tweaks to the coaching staff and other bits, but that's fine.
And the roster. Yeah.
The roster, there'll be a significant relatively turnover where
Mhm.
they'll move on from guys. Obviously, they've already moved on from 2 in Cooper and Smith, but they'll move on from some other pieces. Pocic seems like one. Petonio could retire. Those things are perfectly fine. I wrote a OBR VIP article on the Tuesday where I went from the Monday was more just prove the point of are the Browns screwed? The answer is no. Tuesday was like, well, here's all the moves realistically we want to make. What does that look like? Are we in a good spot? And it's always interesting because I write some of these articles and I genuinely do not know if I'm going to get to the end and be like, oh yeah, everything's fine. My gut says of everything I've kind of followed that it should be fine. But I weren't sitting there going, does the maths work? Yeah, I'm going to put this move in. I just went, what do I want to do? I'm in Andrew Berry's shoes. Let's get rid of this guy. Let's do this. And it's like, as a piece through the article, I'm like, yep, we're in a good spot. And that's how I like to write my articles, because I'm not there to push a narrative down people's face. I'm there to ask the questions. Does the cap work? What are they doing? What can we learn from what that's going to happen? So, no, they're in a good spot despite all the doom and gloom. And hey, no reason to judge them on do they make the playoffs in 2025. That is the fair stick to ask. It's their job to deliver that.
Yeah, and the thing is too, as we're content creators and we write our articles and everything, I believe what I do and what I bring to the table is I'm going to report the news or report what's happening with the Browns. I'm not going to create it. Does that make sense? And I think some people like to create it. And I'm not naming any names, but I think you know what I'm talking about.
I'll name the name when we're done.
Jack, I always respect your work. I always respect the fact that you bring the facts to the table and you bring the receipts to back it up. That's why I like having you on. People, check out his articles on Orange and Brown Report. Check out Over the Cap, and you can check out his Twitter feed at Jack Duffin. Jack, thank you so much again for coming on. And again, it was a pleasure having you on. Thank you.
Hey, good to see you.
All right. Is that it? Is that it? What? Yeah. See, the joke I had for him was like an English literature joke. Yeah.
Well,
Yeah. It was, what do you call Michael J. Fox throwing a javelin?
what?
Shakespeare.
Ah!
Think you would have liked? Do you think you would have liked that one?
I don't know him. He doesn't. I don't want to.
It's Shakespeare. You get it?
Of course I get it. It's hilarious. I have an extremely inspiring quote from Kevin Stefanski from Kelsey Russo's report from today. Do you want to hear it?
Please.
Okay. I'm going to take a moment to read. Remember, I went to school in Florida, so it's questionable.
But you're Jewish.
Right.
So
About homeostasis. I'm going for the status quo.
Yes.
Okay, got to play sound football on all 3 sides of the ball.
Yeah.
That's inspiring.
Is that what he said? Was
That's
that
that's an exact quote, and there's more.
No shit, Sherlock.
I just wish he wouldn't say anything at all sometimes, you know?
Yeah, he's got to give him something. Yeah.
Yeah, got to play complementary football to go try to find a way to get a team to get a win versus a good He's calling New Orleans a good football team.
Well,
Which they could be. Because
well,
they new coach, they have new
I always believe
inspiration.
the Bill
And
Cowher quote in the NFL, there's no such thing as bad teams. There's just NFL teams with bad records.
Mhm.
And because I made the point that there's 32 teams with 53 active players, 1,700 players that are in the league, and these guys are the absolute best at it.
Right.
And it's just they're the best athletes in the world, the best football players in the world. So it's just like, and some teams are better than others, yes. Some teams have better records than others, yes. But you know what? It is very hard to win. And
Oh, absolutely. And
he's saying the right things. That's all
he
he's
is,
doing.
but I just wish maybe he'd pick up a thesaurus or something, jazz it up, give the fans just a little crumb
Yeah.
of some inspiration. That's
It-
all I want. When
Did
I
you? Yeah, go ahead. Go ahead. Did you hear what we were talking about? Was like, pay attention to what they do. Don't just ignore what they say because they're not going
Mhm.
to say anything. What did Steve have to say? Steve. Yeah, yeah, I agree with you, Steve. Actually, we could
Mhm.
talk. I'm going to talk a little bit more about Wills. But I did hear that Wills was not a Barry guy. That Barry kind of was his first draft, his first pick, and he went with Bill Callahan on it. He listened to Callahan, and
Hmm.
that I heard that. So I'm not sure how true that is or untrue.
Gotcha.
But Steve, you're right. Yeah, he has gotten worse, and he has he's I think this year is just it. I mean we could talk about the Mary Kay Cabot interview too, but I how can I say, because I did write an article about how to navigate what is going on
Mhm.
with right now. So it's 110 to 105 Cavs. Hang on a second. All right. Okay. All right. Never mind. Never mind. Hang on. I was about to do something here, but I was going to talk more about that. Let me see. I lost my train of thought. Okay, saying that these are the best players in the world.
Mhm.
Oh, see, okay, he's talking about like that he wasn't a Barry pick, that he was a
Mhm.
Callahan pick. Yeah, and Siaki Ika was a Schwartz pick. That's what I heard too.
Mhm.
So they listen to other people. So
Sure.
sometimes they're wrong, sometimes they're right. And that's the other thing I was pointing out Monday night. If you hit on half your draft picks, you're going to the Hall of Fame. So you're not going to hit on everybody. So just
Mhm.
kicking, hanging your head and kicking rocks over a player here and there. Wills did play for us. This is his 5th year. He's not coming
Mhm.
back. We drafted DeJuan Jones. DeJuan Jones could be the starting left tackle for this team moving forward. He could be. I don't know if he will be or not. Let's see how he does Sunday and the rest of the way through.
Right.
Something else that I was going to bring up, Tony Grossi. Did you see what he was talking about?
No, not at all. Was that today?
It was earlier in the week. He was on
Oh.
he was on Tony Rizzo's show, and he was saying that, well, I'm getting this feel of desperation. Getting the feel for desperation. Oh, see, I
Ah,
said,
that's so nice.
oh yeah, yeah, you're very welcome, Amelia. I appreciate you helping me out with the stew pot. And she posts the reels on her TikTok. Thank you.
Nice.
He was saying that he sees desperation coming out of them, in a sense that they're forced to play these older players. They're not going to play the young guys and see what they got. They feel like they have to hit a certain number to save their jobs.
Mhm.
But they traded Amari Cooper and Zadarius Smith, and they benched Jed Wills for younger guys.
Mhm. So that's
And they cut Quentin Jefferson.
contradictory.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's like, so that's what Jack was saying, was pay attention to what they do. Don't pay attention to what they say. And I was
Mhm.
saying the same thing Monday night, like two nights before I interviewed him, almost 2 days before I interviewed. I was saying actions speak louder than words.
Absolutely.
They're not gonna say anything to you. Pay attention to what they do. They're putting in younger players to see what they can do, to see what they have for next year. I am not hearing anything about anybody being canned. Not now.
No. Mm-mm.
I'm not.
Not yet. Nope.
No, but like I said too, things can change in a few months.
Mhm.
Things could change by
This is
January.
true.
It's true, it can, but doesn't mean that it will. I mean, they could rip off 5 wins out of the last 8.
You
They
never
could
know.
they could run the table. You never know.
Mhm.
They could just finish the season horrifically too. But I'm not saying that. I'm not even going to go there.
Then, yeah,
That's a
that
different
wouldn't
story. Yeah,
right.
But I was saying, so that right there. Now, Jed Wills, when he did the interview with Mary Kay Cabot, I compared that. Do you remember 2 years ago with Jadeveon Clowney? Mary Kay Cabot did a locker room interview with him, and he said similar
Did
stuff.
he use oh, okay, yeah. He used
He was
similar language.
well, he was complaining that he wasn't getting the opportunities because they wanted to give him the Miles. Well, Miles is 100 times better than you.
Well, right, because he was old in football years.
Yeah, and he really didn't do. He played in Baltimore, was productive. I mean, he was a productive guy. Don't get me wrong; he was great to have around.
But he is no Myles Garrett.
No, not at all. So that was my point. Was that it's similar to that? But he said he made a business decision to not play, and then he gets benched.
That was the worst language choice that he could use.
If he said
Worst word choice.
I was hurt, I would have hurt my
Right.
team if I would have went out there and tried to play. It was best if I didn't.
He made
because
it all about him, which is the problem.
Yeah,
He
anything.
made it self-important, which he's not. He made it super self-important and made it seem like he's this jewel that every team is going to come after. You know what I mean? By
Right.
saying that. And of course, that would inflame the fans because what have you produced for us?
Well, I mean, he had one good year his rookie year. And then when he
Right.
got hurt in his second year, early in the
Right.
second
And
year.
then he got
He fell off
Spilkus.
every year.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's just me, just being who I am, just saying. I don't think he. I think I don't think his heart was in it this year. To be
Not at
honest with you.
all.
You can see it. I mean,
I seen little kids playing kickball with more gusto and passion than him. I mean, he
yeah.
would just kind of give up on plays, you know?
He did that a lot. He did
Yeah.
that a lot. So my thing was, it's like I think they said, okay, you're gone after he won't be back next year.
Mhm.
I think Greg Newsome still has a year left in his contract. I think he does because this is his fourth year. If we exercise the fifth year option on him, I think we did. So we'll have him next year. But
Gotcha.
there's certain guys that they're going to see if they're going to be productive or not. So
Sure.
so it's 118 to 112 Cavs. How much time is left? So,
don't know.
but the thing is, I see stuff that's like 7:56 left. I'm seeing stuff
Oh,
that's
okay.
like a pattern. Okay. And it, like, you know what I mean?
Absolutely.
And I'm and what I mean by that is that things seem to repeat themselves if you've been following the Browns long enough. And I'm saying this has happened 2 years ago with Jadeveon Clowney. Now it happens with Jed Wills. Jadeveon Clowney was gone after that. Now Jed Wills is going to be gone.
Right.
They benched him. They said, you know what, forget it. Just sit your fat ass down. We don't want you coming out there. Yeah, you know.
Right.
Yeah. So that was what that was. It's hard to explain, but when did you hear what I said in the interview? What I said? Are we reporting what's happening? Or are we creating what's happening?
Right.
And what was Tony Grossi doing?
He was
creating the drama.
Mm-hmm.
That's my point.
Mm-hmm.
That was my point. And the thing is, you've been reporting on this team for so long now and doing this, and yeah, they don't say anything because you twist stuff, you mangle stuff. Every reporter does it. Everybody does it.
Right. To get clicks and to get
clicks
and
interest.
get things. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So he's getting his get people all worked up and people. It's like, God, please.
Because he's been around for so long, people, I don't know why. I guess they trust him. So if he plants a seed, people are going to follow it down the rabbit hole.
Yeah.
Which isn't great.
Yeah.
Get multiple sources, people. Multiple sources.
Well, I understand if he's in the team, he's around the team, he's on practice field, locker rooms, he's got sources, but what he's saying is what he thinks is happening versus what they've actually done are not matching up. That's my point.
Right.
And that's why I said, wait a second. We traded Zadarius Smith. We traded Amari Cooper. We cut Quentin Johnson, and we benched Jed Wills. So those are four moves right there. Guys that weren't performing or okay. Well, Zadarius Smith was actually productive out of all of those. But if they weren't cutting the mustard, we wanted to bring in young guys and see what we got. And that's what happens. That's the NFL. It stands for not for long. You know,
that's a great one.
What NFL stands for?
Yeah.
Not for long. Oh yeah, that's been around for a long
And
time.
you know what I started watching today? Because, I told you I had a tummy ache, so I was trying to distract myself. I started The Longest Yard with Adam Sandler, and I'm like, maybe we should find players in some obscure places.
Like go to prisons. Would that be a good? You'll
That
find
one
some
dude,
guys.
that
Yeah.
one massive guy who destroys the punching bag. I'm sorry I broke your toy.
Was that Bob Sapp, the big
The giant massive dude.
Oh, is that the great Khali, the Indian guy, the wrestler?
I don't know. No. That guy was behind glass. I didn't
He was
finish the
playing ping
movie.
pong. Oh, he's playing ping pong. The big massive dude, that was Bob Sapp. He's like, was that the one that Chris Rock went, "Don't eat me"?
Yes, because
Yeah,
Chris,
that's
he's
Bob
like,
Sapp. Yeah.
give whatever Chris Rock's name. I forgot what his name was in the movie. The nickname they gave him. He's like, give him a hug. And he like picks him up, and like Chris Rock is screaming. And I'm like, that's what we need on the O line right there. That will fix everything. So if anybody knows a guy like that,
Yes, that what we need is Bob Sapp.
yes.
Bob Sapp.
But yeah, I gotta continue watching that movie, but it's pretty funny.
Oh, it's very funny. It's a very funny movie. I haven't watched it in a long time. It was always interesting when I watched it with my nephew, and I was pointing out who he didn't know who Michael Irvin was. He didn't know who Michael Irvin was. I said, yeah, he was a receiver for the Cowboys. He won 3 Super Bowls with him. He's a Hall of Famer. He went, really? Like he didn't know who some of these guys were. 18. This is years ago, and he was 18 at the time. And I was just like, yeah. And I said, that's Bill Romanowski. He played for Denver Raiders and 49ers. That's Brian Bosworth. I was just showing him who the certain like he knew who the wrestlers were, but there were players.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, there's certain plays. I told him the original movie was with Burt Reynolds in the 70s.
Yeah, because he's in this one too.
Yeah, he played.
Which is cool.
He played Paul Crew in the 70s. Yeah.
Okay.
And that one's a great movie, but it's not as much of as a comedy as with the Adam Sandler one. But yeah, you'll catch a lot of the other references. But The Longest Yard is a great movie. The original.
Yeah, I gotta
Burt Reynolds.
finish it.
Oh, the Burt Reynolds one's good too. I mean, I liked the Adam Sandler one too. I did. So, but anyway, let's go back to the Browns. We were talking about a football movie. We're talking about a football.
Hey, it counts. It counts. It's football.
Oh, of course, it counts. And let me just do a Cavs update. 120 to 113 with 6:23 to go. Cavs have the ball.
Okay.
So the Cavs are leading. They have a lead. But my point being is that when it's 2-7 and the coach and the GM and people don't say a whole lot on the team, I could see where they're trying to create stuff. And
I know it's smart to stay tight-lipped, but the few words that come out make them inspiring. Just like I said, grab a thesaurus, get a few flowery words.
The claw. The Jewish claw. It's the claw. It's the claw.
The claw. You got to say it, claw.
The claw. Well, you should have had a cowboy hat on. You'd have been a Jewish cowboy.
I have one.
Yeah. Yippee ki yay, booby.
Bubby.
Bubby. Yippee ki yay, bubby. Oh, 122 to 113 Cavs. All right. 122 to 113 Cavs. Yay. We got something to cheer about.
Oh, wait. I'll show you
5:45. Show you what? What are you going to show me? Cleveland, whatever it takes. Was that okay? Now that was a playoff towel.
LeBron was still on the team. That's how long ago it was.
Yeah, LeBron left after 2018, right?
Yeah, that's when I went to that game. Mm-hmm.
Okay. Hey.
But I got that. I got the shirt. That's the only Cavs shirt I own.
Awesome.
It was free.
They're up by 9 with 5 minutes 45 seconds to go. 122 to 113. That's awesome. That's fantastic.
So since 99, what's our record against the Saints? Aren't we double-digit wins over the Saints since 99?
I would think, yeah, because 99 was our first win against the Saints, that Hail Mary from Tim Couch. I've seen that video popping up.
See, inspiration.
They beat us here, which was weird, in that Ice Bowl game, which, that – I don't know. I couldn't tell you off the top of my head.
Let me do my famous crack research here.
Producer, call your producer.
Yes, call my producer.
Who's our producer? Steve Hemrick, usually.
Yeah. Let me see. It's called Google. Give me a second.
The Oracle. Call
Showing results for Browns versus Saints. All right, they played 19 times. The Cleveland Browns winning 13 games and New Orleans winning 16. All right, but let me see. Let me look at the results because I got a list of results here because they played each other many times before that.
Right. Okay.
Okay, the last time we played them, we lost 17-10.
Yikes. Who was the quarterback? Was Jameis quarterback then?
No, that was Watson.
Thank you. See? I
What
told
did
you. Here's our producer. Okay. 13-6, Browns records versus Saints.
That's the overall. I'm looking at since 99. Yeah, since
Mhm.
99. Since 99, we were 1-2. We won. We won 2. We lost in 2006. We beat them in 2010. So right there since 99, we're hold on. We beat them in 99. We beat them in 2002. So that's 2. We're 4-1 up until 2014. Oh, hold on. Yeah. 4-1 up until 2014, and then we got what? Stupid ads.
I hate ads. 4-3? Again, crack production.
Did you say 4? Why are these stupid ads keep popping up here?
They suck.
Yeah. It's very annoying.
Ads make everybody sad.
All right.
Thank you for your contribution, Steve Hemrick. You're a rock
Yeah,
star.
so we lost to him in 2018, and we lost to him in 2022.
Okay.
We beat him in 20. So yeah, so it looks like we're 4-3.
Yeah.
4-3. Yep, 4-3. But I had the ads in the way. Sorry, Steve.
Okay.
Yeah, that's what it was. It's trying to navigate the ads. All right. So here we are. Thank you for your help, Steve.
Steve,
So
production.
did you post the comments? Because I was looking at another screen. All right.
I did.
But yeah, no, I honestly, it's one game. Take it one game at a time. Let's see how this team looks the rest of the way through. Let's see good, clean football.
I'm excited. We're coming off the bye week. That gives me big hope. And hopefully our defense can blitz.
Yeah, the Saints aren't that good of a team, and neither are we. But they beat the Falcons.
Right.
And we have an opportunity with coming off the bye week, being as healthy as we are.
Mm-hmm.
With Michael Hall's knee injury, I hope it's not serious. I hope he's okay. They're talking about Jeremiah Wusu-Koramoah might not.
I was going to ask you. Oh, okay, not yet.
No. The 4 weeks won't be up until after next week.
Okay, I wasn't sure what the prognosis was with him.
Even then, they might not play him the rest of the year.
It would be safe. I wouldn't risk anything with a neck injury.
Yeah, he might think he's okay. He might want to play.
See, that's when you overdo it and make everything worse. That's what I've learned in my experience.
I'm not a doctor, and I don't play one on TV. But I would think when you're talking about something that's serious,
well, something so fragile as your neck, and you can't really protect it that great in football. And it takes if you land on it, the way they land on it, he'll be flipped upside down, land on it, and you don't want to break anything. Actually, in San Diego, I had a friend who broke his neck surfing.
Ooh.
Which was, I know, young dude.
Surfing, but did he wipe out and then his head hit the board or something? Or
something like that. And he was a really tall guy too. Broke his neck, but he came back from it.
Well,
but still,
was he paralyzed? Was he?
No. Mm-mm. But he listened to doctor's orders. He was a PhD. He was a scientist, so he knew when to yield. He knew when to listen.
Yield.
Right, exactly. And so he was perfectly fine after he completed everything that was prescribed to him medically. And he lived to research another day. So this should, I always err on the side of caution when it comes to like the neck and the brain, just because they're
And
so.
you have to be that way with concussions. That was another theory I heard too about Denzel Ward's the miscommunications.
Oh,
Even though Juan Thornhill took responsibility for it, I heard that that maybe Ward wasn't completely had his wits about him. I said, then why was he out there?
he shouldn't have been.
Yeah, he shouldn't have been out there if he can't go, okay, what's my
What's the play?
what's the play? What's my
Where
assignment?
do I stand?
Yeah, where's my zone? Where's my assignment? Where? Because
Mhm.
you could tell those were busted coverages for the
Mhm.
Chargers, and it's just like, and then we're sick of it. We're sick of that crap happening. It's inexcusable. It shouldn't be happening.
Yeah, especially, I mean, I've said this before in many places, but something is so delicate as the brain. I mean, he needs to
Yeah, he got
baby it.
cleared. He was cleared. He was cleared by a neurologist to play. He was cleared by an independent neurologist. At least that's what was said.
Sure. They'll never tell us the whole truth.
And no, but he shouldn't have been out there if that was the case. So I don't know if that was a Mary Kay Cabot theory. So I don't know if that was true. And like I said, the people that should be reporting what's happening with the team shouldn't be creating.
Right, exactly. Just like what you and Jack were saying, because I mean, I do respect her and I do really like.
I do too. I
she's
even respect Tony Grossi, but he's wrong here.
sure.
And of course there's pressure to win. It's the fucking NFL.
Yes, it's the pros. It's the pros, bro. It's the
Yeah, it's the
pros.
pros. There's pressure to win, of
Of
course.
course, yeah.
That's like, no shit, Sherlock. I mean,
Right.
I'll tell you what, if any of these reporters ever were in a position of these coaches during a game,
They wouldn't know what to do.
no, they would need a diaper. That would I mean, my God.
A diaper and a satchel of dude wipes. Yeah.
Yes. We got a new sponsor now.
Hello. Oh man, do I love that account
The
on
dude
X?
wipes.
Yes,
Dude wipes.
it is great.
I know people hear dude wipes and they're like,
What?
what? Yeah, and and also, guys, I think in our next Friday show we're going to be talking about 2 games.
Yeah,
We're
that's
gonna be-
exciting. And it's
yeah,
a
we're gonna
short
be-
week for the Browns. What are your thoughts on that?
It's a short week.
That's
Okay.
it. It's a short week. It's truncated.
Just like Lana, it's short.
They got to get their shit together.
Yeah,
They
Lana
gotta get their
watches the
shit
show.
together.
Yeah. Get your shit together.
Get your shit together.
I think, like I said, the Steelers coming into town on a short week. We usually do pretty well on Thursday nights at home
Mhm.
because the home team, it's a lot more on a team on a short week to have to travel.
Right.
Doesn't necessarily mean that team's going to win. Oh wow, big! There's 2 minutes to go, and the Cavs are back up 128-119.
Sweet.
Yep. So
That's
okay,
exciting.
so yeah, so it's exciting. My thoughts on the short week, it helps, but like I said, one game at a time. I'm thinking about the Saints first. But people watching the show, Sherry and I, we will be at the game Thursday night. Matt will be there. Heather loves Buckeyes at Love Buckeyes from the Bougie Sports. She'll be at the game too with us. So hey, stop by, say hi. Section 503, 505. We're gonna be hanging out. We'll probably be with Top Dog Tailgate before. I don't know what time we're leaving. I'm trying to leave at 4:30.
Gotcha.
So I'm gonna try to get out the door 4:30. Get downtown. All right, 131 to 121. We're up by 10. All right. With boom, now we're up by 12.
Okay.
With 113 to go. 133 to 121.
Look at this.
Look at what?
Look at that right there.
Oh, cool. Steve, come by and say hi.
Yes, Steve.
Say hi. You'll be at 507. So we're all going to be on that side of the stadium. Be up high. And it's good. You know what? I guess the weather forecast for the game, it's good. It's going to be cold.
Oh, it's Cleveland.
Yeah, it's Cleveland.
In November.
November 21st in Cleveland, Ohio.
Yeah. Is that a surprise?
Lake.
Not a surprise.
It's going to suck, but we'll be there.
It's not going to suck. It's going to blow.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
The wind blows.
The wind will blow off that lake.
Well, so am I. So am I, Steve. Good deal.
Yeah.
Yeah, just fucking
You've
stop
been
by and
there
say
all
hi.
season. We
You've been
didn't
there
know
all
that.
season? Yeah.
Damn.
Yeah, we'll be there. We'll be there. Hang out. Hang out and say hey, man.
Mhm.
Back to the stadium stuff. Did you see about that study that came?
Oh, I saw the headline. I
We're gonna
didn't get to
close with
read
this.
the scene from the Cleveland Scene, that article that came
Yeah.
out saying how it's like monetarily it's not what Haslam
Mike
promises it's going to be.
Mike
I didn't
Florio.
get to read it.
Mike Florio from Pro Football Talk had the best take on it, saying the city of Cleveland commissioned a study to basically say what it wanted to say. You can commission a study to say whatever you want it to say. They're trying to say, and this is what I pointed out too in my article, saying this is BS. They're trying to say that, oh, well, we're going to lose, the city of Cleveland is going to lose revenue. It doesn't say
Yeah.
about the revenue gained in Northeast Ohio as a region. They're saying there might not be enough demand for it. If you build it, they will come.
True.
Okay. That's one. Okay. We could have huge events with this facility and this whole complex being
Jinx.
built there. Yeah, complex. Buy me a Coke. So, but I was saying, does the study put in the fact that this stadium's falling apart and was poorly
No.
built and on a 93-year-old foundation? Does it point out the amount of money that the city has to put into it every year just to keep it up to code? Does it point out that the building won't be paid off for another 4 years yet?
But
Yeah. What did I tell? I said this to John on Monday night. I said, dude, if this was a house, it would be a money pit.
yeah,
And he
for
laughed
sure.
when I said that. I said that people don't understand. It's a money pit. It's a money pit for the city of Cleveland. They know this.
Mhm.
Why are you playing politics with this? Do the right thing. Work with the Browns on. You should have been working with the Browns 10 years ago on this.
Right.
Now you're playing politics because you
Mhm.
wouldn't because you wouldn't move. You wouldn't do anything. So here we go. We're going to go through this whole rigmarole, and now there's even like the city of Cleveland's waiting for more. They're trying to buy time. They're trying to stall now when it comes to giving definitions of the Art Modell law. Why do you think they're
Of course they
stalling? They're
are.
stalling because they're trying to hold up the construction project.
Mhm.
Oh, whoa, another three. And what is it? It is 139 to 121 with 23 seconds to go.
I wonder who's going to win this one. Right.
Just so you know, I lift weights. So
I would have never guessed.
I don't think anybody does when they met me. Yeah. But no, I would love to have some of these people on from the city of Cleveland try to explain themselves. I've offered them to. You're welcome to come on. I'd love to hear. I'll give you time to talk. I'll give you fair. But I'm going to ask tough questions. I'm going to ask, where's this been?
Mhm.
You know, why are you doing this?
Right. And I also, like I said this before, when the team came back, they should have planned the stadium better and put a dome on it immediately.
Yeah, that was done in a rush. They had to do that in a rush. They had to build it within 3 years. It was the team was rushed, the dome was rushed, and
Mhm.
it is 144 to 126 final.
Whoa. So you're telling me the Cleveland Cavaliers are 14-0?
Yeah, it's a final.
Wow. That's
14 and
exciting.
0. 14 and 0.
Seal
Guys,
claps for them.
much happy for y'all. No, you
Yay.
guys, no, appreciate all of you on the show. Give me your thoughts on the stadium before we wrap this up. Hold on, what was it? Did somebody just comment?
Steve.
Yeah. Yep, longest win streak in Cavs history. Absolutely,
Nice.
Steve. Thanks for telling us. Yeah, they're 14 and 0. All right, cool. I got an article to write about that for Fans First. Hey, check out Breezy Sports Wednesday night. Breezy Sports, Breezy Browns Talk.
Yes.
Bougie Sports
Bougie
Tuesdays.
Sports. Yeah.
Okay, and my Stirring the Pot with Johnny Cleveland
Mhm.
and Burning River Browns Talk on Friday night. Stirring the Pot's on Monday nights. And also I got the Sunday Stew Pot on Rumble. Check it out. You guys will love it. It's an uncensored show, and yeah, I drop F-bombs. It's pretty funny. And I tell real raunchy jokes. You thought what I said bad was today.
Mm-mm.
No, we're having fun with people. We always do. We make fun.
Of course.
Well, I told you, did you see the one joke that I got in trouble for? No. What was the one? I didn't get in trouble for it. I didn't get any comments. I thought I would about the how they were able to find the Hispanic voters for exit polling.
Mm-mm.
How they were able to identify them.
How?
They were the guys carrying weed whackers.
Oh man. Oh man. Oh, man.
And Corey just did this. He went, the comment will be alive.
Damn.
Tony Hinchcliffe, right? Tony Hinchcliffe, that comedian.
Yeah.
Love the guy. He came on and he said, he basically, because he did the Puerto Rico garbage joke.
Yeah, I remember.
Got up. He just basically told them all to, take a flying, what. And he just said, I joked about my mom in that same set. Nobody got offended by that. My mom didn't get offended. I'm a comedian. I tell jokes. I kind of see a cultural shift happening where people are just kind of fed up with stuff. Like, shut up. You're always offended by everything. It's like that one person that goes to HR all the time. They're like, what are you here for now? Yeah. You again?
Not again.
Yeah.
Ew.
I don't even want HR to know who I am.
Exactly.
Unfortunately, they do. I'll be in HR's office. Yes. And everybody, just so you know, I am working on my Trump impersonation just for Thanksgiving dinner.
Yes, you are.
When it comes time to say the blessing, it's going to be so blessed. We're going to be so blessed for this meal. Bow our heads. I'll say the prayer. It's either that or Gary Busey.
Oh no.
I like butter sausage. Right on that note.
Traumatized.
Yes, what, Gary Busey?
Yeah, I met him once in real life and it was a very traumatizing experience.
Gary Busey. I like butter sausage.
Yep,
I would just love to do shots with Jägermeister with the guy.
He's a few. I think he's 80.
I don't care. He'll do them. Yeah, let's do some shots. Tell me about when you did Buddy Holly. Come on, let's talk about that.
That is actually, I think, his favorite role.
I think it was.
What I remember.
Yeah.
Speaking to him.
Yeah, he was in a motorcycle accident that messed him up a long time ago. But hey, guys, thank you. Appreciate it. Keep in mind, we're going to be back here Friday. We're going to talk about 2 games. We're going to talk about the Steelers game and the Saints game, and hopefully we're going to be 4-7. So
yay!
So hey, dress warm Thursday night. We're going to be dressed warm. We're going to be there. Thank you all. I appreciate each and every one of you. Love the comments, love the likes, love the shares. Mike Davis, thank you. Dallas, you just liked our show on Facebook. Appreciate you guys. No, honestly, if it wasn't for the people that watch the show, we wouldn't have anything to do. There would be no show. And the thing is, we're all Browns fans. We all want the team to do well. We want the team to get better. Sometimes we argue and disagree with how we can get there. But by the end of the day, we're all Browns fans. We want the team to do well. And hey, next Friday, let's have a victory Friday. Let's do that. What do you say? A double victory Friday. Wow. I love all of you. Just always remember, when the river burns, it burns brown and orange. Thank you.
Good night.